Enhance. Hold on, let me turn the thing around. Enhance. Gotta mirror the video. Boom. Okay, good. Hello, everybody. Greetings. Greetings. Hi. It's the appropriate size. How's everyone doing today? I hope you are all doing well. Hi. Hi. So happy to see you. Hey, Darlene. Hi. Hey, Kelly. Hey, Chi. Wonderful. Blessings. I'm happy to see y'all too. Y'all make me so happy. I'm so happy that y'all are happy to see me. That makes me happy. Well, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Darcell Andre. I am a holistic and esoteric teacher and psychic seer. And so that being said, I'm not doing readings on the live today. I'm actually doing that this evening. Okay. But I decided to come over here and do everyone's favorite segment, or rather show, Ask a Spiritualist, where you get to ask questions about spiritual things, spiritual matters, concerns, you want information, whatever it is that is within my scope of practice to answer, I will answer that for you. Kelly's doing fab. And just so you know, I am both live on the Clock app and on my YouTube of you. I'm live on both of those. So let's get into the things. How does one find their spiritual teacher? So it's not really so much as to you finding them in the sense of I'm on the hunt for a spiritual teacher, as much as it is they are revealed to you. So some of you have come across your, hi Ashanti, some of you have come across some of your spiritual teachers by word of mouth, by scrolling down a screen, and they appear there and you're like, oh my gosh, this person resonates with me. This person's of integrity, I feel it. So they are revealed to you. The proverb is that when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And that's exactly how it happens. That is exactly how it happens. They appear. Now, one, you must be cognizant and self-aware, essentially, of the fact that if you are in desperation mode and you really want to get connected and you really want to learn, you just have to, you will find yourself in treacherous waters, okay? Because desperation doesn't really get you anywhere. Desperation makes you settle for whatever shows up to you, okay? All right. Your desperation is not coming from a space of abundance as much as it is coming from a space of fear. And then you attract individuals who are within that fear frequency. So when people present themselves and you're like, oh my gosh, he would be a dope spiritual teacher for me. He would be fantastic, or she would be, or they would be fantastic. I would encourage you to not move fast. I would encourage you to make your assessment of them over time, because it is critical for, especially when it comes to spiritual means, if it is someone who is supposed to be helping you along, assisting you, guiding you, that they are a person of integrity, all right? You have to be clear that they are not going to be one way today and switch up tomorrow. So that's one of the things that I would say, because there's a lot of these people who are out here. I mean, it's truly terrible. And people who consider me a spiritual teacher for them know my integrity, and I have been consistent as a person since they've come in contact with me, both on in public forums and in private forums. I have been the same person. It hasn't been anything. Sure, there's more parts to me, yes, but as far as character switches and integrity issues, that's just is not something that exists with me. Hey, hi y'all. Hey, Nikita. Okay, now let's see here. What's going on with me? What is going on with you? I'm not doing readings, y'all. This is not readings. This is for spiritual information and education purposes. I'm doing readings this evening though. Let me scroll. Someone asked the question. How does one no, okay, well, I literally just answered that question. Okay. Next question. Next question. Ooh, and not all spiritual teachers are forever. Thank you for that. Yes, not all spiritual teachers are forever. Don't feel as though, no, it's okay, honey. That's okay. Just honey. Um, can I ask a question in the box? I'm bad at texting. Sure. Um, just come on this evening and I'll be doing readings then. Um, not all spiritual teachers are forever. Yes, y'all. Yes, not all teachers are forever. You don't stay in the same grade your entire educational career. Some teachers are great for this particular phase in your life. And one of the things that we have got to get control of is understanding that, one, people who how do I phrase this? I want to say the correct thing. You see, I be trying to govern myself accordingly. I be trying to govern myself accordingly. I'll just say this. Teachers are not forever, okay? You do not need to have a falling out to no longer associate with someone in a certain capacity. You just don't, it doesn't have to be that. Some of us think that the only way you cannot be learning from, working with, being connected to a particular person is because there's a break, a fallout, there's all these problems and things that occur. No, it's simply where you are in your life, and that's not where I am. We no longer resonate. I no longer align with that, and that's okay. Every separation does not have to be an issue. It does not have to be an issue, y'all. It doesn't. Doesn't have to be an issue. And I need to state that, because sometimes you will see people who are no longer seen together, and we're like, "Ooh, child, I wonder what happened, what went down." Ooh, child. It doesn't have to be an issue, don't have to be a problem. And some of us don't know how to create boundaries because we think that we have to have an issue. Learn and hear me good. Learn with this piece of wisdom. Hear this. You can lose a friend without gaining an enemy. Do y'all hear that? You can lose a friend without gaining an enemy. Okay? You can lose a friend without gaining an enemy, y'all. Meaning, someone asked me, how do you do that? Simply like this. Oh, I clearly see that we are not really on the same page. We are not on the same, doing the same things. Not necessarily about being on the same level. You want to avoid that type of hierarchy speech. But we're just not doing the same things. I think we're at different parts in life. I love you. I think that you're excellent and great, but I just don't think that where you are, where I am, I don't think we gel well together. That's it. It don't have to be nothing else than that. And it doesn't have to be deeper than that. Period. You will also learn on these spiritual streets. Hey, Mama Sunfire. Hey, Psychedelic Wild Child. You will also learn in these spiritual streets, y'all, that there are people you connect with spiritually, and those of us who are content creators know this. There are people you connect with on this spiritual path, on social media and all of that, and y'all are good, and then their theology or their spirituality and their belief system shift and change. And you no longer resonate with them. You no longer resonate with them. And it is easier to say, oh, we don't gel together on that. As opposed to making a video saying, them people, anybody you hear who say this, da 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 da, and being all messy about it. You just simply excuse yourself. It doesn't have to be all this other stuff here. That's why you are not gonna catch me in a beef. Why? Because I'm vegetarian. You're never going to catch me in a beef. That's it. That's it. It's not that serious. There are plenty of people I've been connected to, even through the TikTok streets. Even through the TikTok streets that I'm no longer connected with that way. But you are not hearing or seeing videos of me and this person windmilling it out. It's just not a thing. There are other things to do. And I'm not saying that there are not circumstances where that does occur, y'all. But, y'all, if you're out here really doing the work, you don't have time to be windmilling with another practitioner. You don't have time. It's too much heat and not enough light. Too much heat and not enough light. Too much heat. Let me move forth here. So true. I'm looking at some of the comments here. And I ask about the abortion perspective and spirituality. Here we go. The abortion perspective and spirituality, because a lot of things in spirituality are about balance and fairness. So what if a man wants to keep his child, but the woman doesn't? Oh my God. Ooh, child, these are treacherous waters. I should have read it before I clicked it. This is very interesting. Let me see. Did you have posted something before this? Oh, no. Oh, that was the first thing you said. What was the spiritual perspective on abortion? The spiritual perspective on abortion, there's two different questions going on here. When we're talking about from a moral sense, you do what your Ori tells you to do. You do what is safe for you to do. And you do what it is that you feel that you need to do, period. I always read on anything. I would always say consult with someone that you trust, a practitioner, read on it yourself, pray about it, tap into your spirit, tap into your spiritual team. Okay? Do that and then do what it is said to do. That's the spiritual perspective. Okay? What I feel like what you are wondering is if there's a right or wrong element to that. Well, not necessarily. I would just ask you about your, intentions. Are you handling your sexual life with care? right? Are you making sure and treating yourself well? Are you, choosing partners to engage in that type of intimate experience with you that you want to be with or keep with? I would ask those particular questions, not necessarily whether the abortion in itself is morally wrong or not. The other half is, so what if a man wants to keep his child, but the woman doesn't? Good God Almighty. It comes down to the same thing. It comes down to the same thing. It comes down to the same thing. What's the intention here? If the conversation was, and let me be very clear, I believe that women have the right to do whatever it is that women want to do, period. I don't have a womb, okay? And I don't want one. I don't have a womb, and I do not want one. Okay? So with my testes, I'm not sitting up here talking and telling women what they can and cannot do. That's just it. I will say you may find that within inside of yourself, you may have a in the church would say a conviction. If you have made an agreement to have a child with your partner and you have gotten pregnant and then you have been like, I'm not wanting to do this. You may feel strange about it, like, dang, I did make this agreement and this is what we were looking forward to doing. And, I went against that, but things change, right? And even much so, it's a risk. There's a lot of health risk that goes into childbirth, honey. There's a lot. And sometimes people don't want to be going through all this. Sometimes women, mothers do not want to be going through all of this. And also everyone has the right to change their mind. Everyone does. Everyone does. And that's just it. Everyone has a right to change their mind. What I would say to him is that maybe you need to do spiritual work to attract partners who want to have children with you, and or communicate that early on. All right. And make sure that the person that you're with is wanting the same life plans as you. That's what I would say. Ooh, child. This is a good question. Y'all done shook my hair wrap from left to right. And we're only 18 minutes into this. If you don't want the baby with the man, so you had a baby, okay, let me continue here and read. I'm going back around. How Legacy B asks, how are spiritualists staying grounded? Before I answer that, I do have to say this because I forgot to give this disclaimer. The disclaimer is that there's a lot of people either on the Clock app and on the Tuba View, okay? If I miss your question, it is not intentional. However, that being said, I will answer the questions that I am led to answer, okay? As the name up here says, Darcell Andre, or if you're on the Tuba View down here, says Darcell Andre, and respectfully, this is my shit. But I love y'all nonetheless, but I had to say that because I was supposed to start with that. Okay, now let me dive in here. How are spiritualists staying grounded? How to balance the material needs with the spiritual essence? That is a great question, Legacy B. Okay? That is a great question. Spiritualists, I can't say how the spiritualists are staying grounded. I can say how I stay grounded. And how I stay grounded is I do my meditations, I do my prayers, I read my African proverbs, I read my spiritual books. I tap into my placements in my chart that are dominant heavy with water. I know that I need to take showers and make each shower that I take not just one for hygiene, but for one for cleansing and replenishing. I also don't have people in my life that has drama. I don't have that. I don't hold space for drama. Okay. There's no one in my life that is coming up here acting a fool. I don't have that. Okay. I make sure that my spaces are clear of clutter because I know that causes distractions and overwhelm and all of that. I also extend grace to myself. And I know that, for instance, for me, when I do readings on live, there was a point in time where I would strictly channel each person's reading. But that to the tune of 20, 30, 40 people in a time span is significantly draining and a form of abuse to myself. Okay. So as a spiritualist who can help and who does help, I maintain the boundaries so that I do not overgive and overextend myself. And that is the thing that a lot of the spiritualists and the spiritual practitioners do not understand or practice: the overgiving. Because when you overgive and you overextend yourself, you may want to do it because of the passion in your heart, but you end up not being well in the process. This is true if you are a spiritualist or if you are not. If you are, and I use the term spiritualist because it is a more of a broad term. But if you are a practitioner, a spiritual practitioner of any kind, even if you are a pastor, you have to be mindful not to overgive, overcommit and overextend yourself. All right, spreading yourself too thin. Because, and I'm gonna be real with y'all, to the people that's on the clock app and the people that's on YT. Y'all say y'all love me, and I appreciate it. You say you love a lot of your teachers or the people you follow or whatever, and I appreciate it. But there's few of y'all that actually do. Listen to me, spiritual practitioners. There's few of y'all that actually do. And what I mean by that is, if I stop doing readings, how many people will still check in? If I stop offering services, how many people will still check in? That number will greatly dwindle from the 84,000 followers I have down to a solid 8 people. And I say that really speaking to the spiritual teachers and practitioners in the sense that when you're offering a service, that people want the service. That is the reason why you must make sure that you are conserving your energy, right? And you are keeping yourself well, because we will overextend for people who, if we do one thing that they don't agree with, will block us, unsubscribe, hit a refund. They will hit a refund, reverse it, honey, file a complaint, and you'd be like, now wait a minute. We was all good, but because you disagree with this, and I appreciate y'all, and I appreciate, and I know I'm just using this example more so for the spiritual practitioners. I'm just saying that I know I love y'all, and those of you who communicate with me and talk with me, I love y'all, and I know you love me, but I'm using that as example to help the practitioners. Don't overextend yourself, please. Don't do that. Okay? So that's that. Next. Thank you, honey. Let me see. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying. Mm-hmm. I'll still be here. I know you would, Tracy. I know y'all would. Let me see. I have to scroll up because there was a question earlier that I wanted to answer. And also, teachers and practitioners, listen, you can't help everybody, and be okay with that. You can't help everybody. You can't help everybody. You can't. And also, don't think, hold on, I got to talk to the practitioners. Please don't think that just because you have done your work, whatever form of divination you do, you have done all, call the spirits down for the person to get their life right, that they're going to do it. Don't think that. Don't think that just because you have called the spirits down, done called up their aunts and grandmas and everything, and given the information that will change their life, help their life, get on the right path. Don't think that automatically means that they're going to do it. So you have to learn how to detach yourself from that outcome. Because there were people, listen, hold up. Let me clear my spiritual chest real quick. There have been people that I have either in coaching sessions or in readings laid it all out about relationship partners, laid it all out, told you every single reason as to why you need to ease on down the road. Don't carry nothing that might be a load. Ease on down the road. I have laid it out the thing and told the girls, pick your left foot up when your right foot's down. Come on, legs, keep moving. Don't you lose no ground. I have told the people all of the things, and the children will sit there, cry, weep, fall in the corner, ball up, say this is the best experience ever, and in less than 24 hours, be right back with the people. You be like, I just told you, girl, that if you don't get out of here, both you and him gonna take each other out. And in less than 24 hours, y'all making Facebook posts. Dear God! Like, what? So, I had to say that. I just had to say it. Had to say that. Ooh, child. Okay. I just told you if you don't leave the spot, I'm gonna blow up. I just told you that if you do not leave, it's gonna be over for you, literally. Like, you want to talk about I can't hear from my ancestors, you ain't got to worry about it, because if you don't leave this relationship, you're going to see them. You will wake up in glory. But they be right back there. Dear God. Okay. Let me get back to your questions. Go ahead. Just drop your questions, y'all. You will wake up in glory. I'm like, y'all, you gonna wake up dead. Have y'all ever woke up dead? Mm-hmm. Listen, going up yonder, you will see them. You gonna wake up dead. Of course, 3-ply mama. Chill out. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm being crazy. But you're gonna wake up dead. Please wake up. I want you to wake up alive. Can y'all wake up alive? Wake up alive. Please. Is there a meaning to dreaming about ladybugs? Listen, what's crazy is you saying that is wild. There have been ladybugs everywhere. There is a ladybug right now. I don't know how they keep getting in here, but there's always these freaking ladybugs in here. I had a client book and her nickname was Ladybug something. I don't know. I don't know what the meaning of that is. What I would say is and that's what I need to do, you got to ask your spiritual team. Because especially when it comes to dreams, interpretations and things vary from person to person. If you go and get the dictionary book or the dream dictionary book that's written by this 76-year-old white man, you as an Afro-Latino woman or Afro-Latinx woman, in the Dominican is not going to have what your ancestors are telling you is not what his ancestors was telling him. It's just not. Okay. So you do have to ask your spirit team about that. You got to ask your spirit team about it because there's so many different things that could mean. It could be an ancestor. All right. You may find out that you had an ancestor, honey, who loved ladybugs, had all like the little ladybug figurines and stuff around the house and everything. And that ancestor is trying to communicate with you through those symbols. So you do have to ask your spiritual team. Okay. Lady Mariposa asked, is it possible for someone to try and send you a negative working and it doesn't hit you, instead it backfires on them? It happens all the time. In fact, it happens more frequently than you even realize. Why? Because you didn't even realize that the work happened. You're like, I didn't realize because your ancestor team turned it around. Your ancestor team turned it around. That's it. Your ancestor team turned it around immediately. Your spirit team was like, it's not even going to make the door. And sometimes what the people don't realize is unjustified workings is low vibrational. And not just as far as negative. I'm saying it's low vibrational because you have no universal reason or ought to do this. And so it don't really have no power to begin with. And most of the time, their spirit team is allowing the things to come back and mollywop them upside their head and knock their head between the bathtub and the toilet, between the kitchen and between the kitchen and the living room, between the refrigerator and the cabinet, to teach them a lesson. Trying to teach them a lesson. Will mollywop them, wop bambaloo bop them with their own work to teach them a lesson. Okay, so this is why we can't really be fearful of when, greetings, Diamond. We can't really be fearful when people are like, I'm over here doing work on you. I'm going to do that. If you didn't do anything that would justify that, talk to your spirit team. Do your regular schmegular protection work. All right. And trust that the universe is still the universe. It's low frequency. They don't have no justification. It does every time it happens. That's why I say, before y'all try to sit up here and shake rocks and blow smoke on somebody, ask your mind, your body, and your soul, and your spirit team, is it me? Is it me? Am I the drama? Am I the problem? 98.76235% of the time, it's you. It's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. It's you. It's you. Is it me? Yes. Yes, it is you. Why? Because just the same situation you don't have with 16 other people. It has to be you. Why is it you? Because the law of correspondence states that your internal environment projects your external environment. So if this is showing up outside of you, it's in you. So before you try to sit up here and shake a rock, blow a smoke, burn a candle, chop up a chicken, is it me? Ask, is it me? Because if you don't, you'll fool around and do this. Oh, I know what to do. I'm gonna take this. Destroy anybody that's working against me. Remove them, spirit. Remove anybody that's working against me. And you will vanish. You will do all of that. And you would vanish. Spirit, anybody that's working against me, crash them down. Whoever it is that is causing all of this mess in my life, take them out at the knees. And you wake up, you like, my knee ain't ever been swole. My knee, why is my knee swelling? I got to cut out that salt. Now, what is... I got to stop all that salt. Dr. Sebi did say that the knees, the joints was... Now, what? It be you. So, yes, it backfires on them often. Golden Kisses says, Darcell, how do you stop someone from thinking of you daily, sending witchcraft daily and weekly? No fiery wall or ammonia is stopping this maniac from putting herbs at my door and throwing evil my way. Okay. I have a couple of questions here. Is any of the workings working? Shake, rock, blow, smoke takes you out, Jax. Is any of the workings working? Like, did they throw a bag at you that ruined stuff and then your life start falling apart? It's working. And you did not do anything to this person? Y'all ain't had no issues or nothing of that nature? Regardless, you need to escalate the situation. So you need to connect with a practitioner to help you with that. You need to escalate. You need to move it up the chain. You got to move it up the chain. You need to connect with somebody that can help you with that. Someone that you trust that does workings. I do energy work consultations, honey. So if you want to do a good old consultation with me, you can. But that's when you have to know, wait a minute, I may be bot punching outside of my league. Let me move on up the chain and get some big steppers that can help me out. Darcell, can you read my love life? I'm not doing readings right now, honey. I will, and I'm doing readings this evening. So that's what I say, because when it's stuff like that, it's like, okay, this is because someone needs to be able to divine into this. Wait a minute. Golden Kisses says, they are stealing my abundance and they are messing with my child. This is my mother. It was confirmed in Ifa reading, and this I saw her doing it. Okay, so It was confirmed in your in your Ifa reading, in your Ifa divination, that your mother is the one that's doing all of this. Okay, so if your mother is doing all of this and it was confirmed in your divination, the Ebo will take care of that. Did you get an Ebo done? Golden kisses? The people are keep calling me. That would be my question. Did you get an Ebo done? Because the Ebos will correct that. Things got slightly better, but she is still showing up even after the divination paid $800. You paid $800. Let me understand this. You pay $800 for the divination and the Ebo, or for just the divination? I'm assuming the divination and the Ebo. The Ebo would take care of it. If it did not, then I have questions about who you got it done through. This is what I would say. Email me, please. Email me, TheInnerLightSpa@gmail.com. Email me, please, so I can get you connected correctly. Email me at TheInnerLightSpa@gmail.com. I wanted to say before I answer that question, what is an Ebo? It is better for you to look up Iani for Chandra Cherise, or if you go to YouTube and type in Chandra Cherise, she is a priestess of Ifa in the Isheshe tradition, and therefore she also has content detailing what an Ifa divination is, what an Ebo is, and so I encourage you to do that. I'm choosing not to speak on that as that is not my area of expertise, and I know of a better Black woman source that can answer that. So please look up Chandra Cherise on YouTube and it'll take you there. Give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Yes. I'm back. Where are the questions? Let's see. What other questions do we have? I can scroll up here. How to find a legit practitioner and priestess when living in the States. I just told you one. Iani Fa, Chandra Cherise. I've gotten my elbow done and I've worked with her. She's a spiritual mother of mine. And so I trust her. Hey, beautiful. Just doing a drive-by. Hey, seeing healer. I love you so much. Is shadow work a must? Yes. Shadow work is a must. It is a must. Definitely. Shadow work is definitely a must. Let's talk about shadow work. Shadow work, people always describe it as being something that is so dark and frightening and it's all messed up. Shadow work is simply looking at the origins of why you are who you are and why you do what it is that you do. The shadow is some things that you've been operating in that is outside of your awareness. It's in the shadow because you haven't brought light to it. So it is absolutely necessary to do shadow work and bring what's in the shadow into the light so you can understand better why you struggle with the things that you struggle with, why you are great at the things you are great, how you have become who you are, and how you can hone on those particular experiences to develop a better outcome for you. Yes, it is definitely a must. How do you know when you are ready to start doing workings? What type of workings? I think the type of working matters, but you are able to do workings as soon as you know what it is that you're doing. Growing up in a Black experience, there's so much stuff that we were taught to do that was just natural for us to do. And I was doing it when I was 4 years old. And workings is not always just like candles and herbs and all of that. There's so many levels to that. You can work with uh the herbs and things like that, and everything has energy and spirits connected to them. You can work with it in that way. You also can, thank you, CW, I appreciate you. You also can do workings where you are working with certain energies and quote unquote deities. And I say that because not everyone refers to their spirits as deities, but you can do that. Now, where the boundary is, don't go calling up an energy and you are not of that practice and well versed in that practice. Don't go doing that. Don't go doing that. Don't go trying to call up, you know, don't go doing that. Okay. Please don't go trying to call up an energy here that you don't know nothing about and you haven't done the study and you are not a part of the culture, the practice, or the tradition in which that operates in. However, as far as you doing protection work and stuff like that, you can do that immediately. You can do that immediately. It's really the part of like trying to call up energies and summon and conjure. That is the part where it's like, okay, now you don't know nothing about this. So you can do that roto, you can do money, you can do all types of stuff. There's a lot of things you can do. How do I know if my protection amulet, um, I'm sorry, I started reading the question and I started reading another comment. So how do I know if my protection amulet is actually draining me instead of protecting me? I'm assuming. Well, do you feel drained? Do you feel that when you put it on, your energy is drained from it? That is a difference maker. If you are feeling drained, you're feeling drained. I would ask you, did you make it yourself or did you have someone make it? I would also ask you, what is it made of? Does it have a crystal? Does it have what? Like, what is it made of? And I would ask, did you set your intentions for that? Because this here, in the event that someone made this and gave this to me for a spiritual purpose and a spiritual reason, and I would wear this and feel drained, there's a problem. If this is supposed to protect me and give me energy, there's a problem. It should not tear me up. Living life healed. Yes, I do. Okay. There's a problem. And so I have to you need to answer those questions for me if you can. Because if it is doing all that, then mm-mm. Oh, let me get clear. She said, not my energy being drained, but it's like my gifts are being fed off of. And I brought it from a spiritualist. Okay. It's being fed off of. As if she or they have made this as a way of pulling your energy from you and harnessing your energy. Is that what you're saying? Um, again, why do you feel that way? Do you feel like there has been a change or something that's happening? Answer that question for me. What has been happening for you to think that that is happening to you? Let me respond to this. Thank you for your explanation on shadow work and its importance. I'm hearing other spiritualists speak that it's not work that's necessary. I'm going to tell you just like this, y'all. And fight me, windmill me, uppercut me, whatever. If someone is trying to tell you that shadow work is an unnecessary part of your spiritual journey, I suggest that you please find somebody else to listen to. Please, dear God. Dear God. The reason why, because shadow work is about examining the origins. This is called pathology here. Looking at how something began and understanding how it got to where it is. That is critical. That's critical. You cannot. Now, part of the frustration with that is because, and so I think this is a multi-layered thing here. There is a culture that has been created about shadow work that gives people the excuse to be down in the dumps and depressed and talk about how hard stuff is and it's not just love and light, and it has become its own like negative pool of energy, right? And that is because the people don't truly understand what the shadow work is supposed to be about. It is about facing the truth again, bringing what is in the dark into the light. That's what it is about. So how can you grow if you don't know what is stunting your growth? And in the process of bringing what is in the dark into the light, it may shock you. It may be difficult to believe that this is like, oh my God, I can't even believe that this was a thing. I can't even believe that this happened. And yes, that is difficult, but that is like saying heal without looking and treating the wound. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. You can't do that. And so hearing that there are spirituals out here saying that it's not necessary, I wonder from what lens are they looking at it from? It is necessary. However, it is a part, and it's not all negative. You need to know why it is that you are good at what you do. The reason why I am good at assessing the needs of people was because I grew up and my father was sick. And so in taking care of my father, and even though that brought me emotional stress and things like that, there was things that I knew to do that was just intuitive for me to do. And it was exactly what they needed, what my dad needed at the time. Even so much so that when he was in the hospital, the nurses would think that I was a nurse because of the way I was attending to my father and the ways in which I was communicating with them. That is also a part of shadow work. Understanding why you are great at the things you are great at. That's a part of it. So I think that the overall energy about shadow work is because people don't truly understand it, and they have got sucked up in the culture of, life is terrible. This healing, excuse the language, but this how it's said. This healing shit is hard as blah 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 blah. Y'all want to talk about love and light, da da da. F all that. It's all of that. Shadow work is not just that. Shadow work is revealing work. It is understanding the genesis of who you are. That's what it is. Do I help with shadow work? Spiritual coaching sessions. Yes, I do. I'm still trying to figure out how I would want to craft the mentorship, y'all. But I hope to have a plan for that by the end of this month. We have similar beliefs and different perspectives. I'm enjoying the truth you're speaking, fam. Thank you. I appreciate you. Okay. Let me answer this question here that popped up here. I had a reading and the spiritualist told me Oshun was in my energy and I should practice that. That is very, very tricky. That's very tricky. Because what is considered, oh, good God Almighty, y'all. Y'all are asking the questions. The proper way, I'm going to say it like this. And I have two schools of thoughts on this matter, okay? The proper way to figure out who and or what orishas are operating on your spiritual team is through an Ifa divination. It is through that. That is the appropriate way. That being said, it is not impossible for someone who is tapped in, someone who is a seer, to look at you and feel a certain energy being connected to you. That is not an impossibility. However, I will say that it is improper to say, I see this Orisha next to you, or this Orisha connected to you, or you being of this Orisha, or whatever the phraseology that people use, child of, they say child of this Orisha. It's improper for me to say that and then tell you, go ahead and get that. Go ahead and start trying to call up Oshun, and that's improper. Because one, there's so much education that would be necessary, or that is necessary for that. So you just can't do that in that way. You should not do that in that way. Okay. And also, the people don't really be tapped in. There's a lot of things that we're going up against when we talk about this, because the people don't really be tapped in like they say that. They will look at me with this yellow on and this orange background and all of this stuff and say, oh, I know he's a child of Oshun. Or I know that Oshun is heavy in his spiritual core. You Oshun down. These are her colors. Yes. However, my divination says something different. So you can't just go off of those things like that. And that's what a lot of people do when they look at you and they start assigning these orishas to you. Now, that being said, my other school of thought is this. I do not believe that the orishas, just like I do not believe that the spirit, period, is in any particular boxes. And this may be controversial, but I believe in the truth. I do not believe that the spirit or the orishas are in any particular box. I do not believe that. Why? Because before I had the opportunity to connect with, for instance, Iani Fashandra Cherise, to get a divination done, the same orisha that was discovered to be a part of my paternal lineage is the same orisha that I saw and was with me in meditation when the practitioners would probably see my work and say, Darcell, this is blasphemous. And in fact, when I stopped doing what it was that I was doing, because of my fear of, oh, well, maybe I don't know what I'm doing, it came up in my divination that I had abandoned that particular orisha. So there's different schools of thoughts here. But what I will say, what is the more efficient way to go about these things is to go to a trusted person. Yeah, someone please, can y'all please type or tag EI please in the comments if you know who I'm talking about? Is to go and get an ethos divination done. That is the appropriate way. But I will say that the orishas will reach out to you and show certain things to you in your life to let you know that they are present with or without your divination. That does happen. But for someone to be like, oh, yes, for someone to you know, I think there are other ways to go about that. Ooh, child, let me take some water. Y'all trying to stress me out. Stress with a Q. Stress me out. Ooh, child. Okay. Where are we at? Ooh, child. Next questions. While I'm waiting for the next question to drop, I want you to know that I just released, available right now on my website, the candlelight ritual, which is a ritual that is going to be happening on February the 22nd. So 2/2/2. And it is all about attracting love. It's about self-love. It's about intensifying intimacy within relationships and all of that. And that is available for you to put your petition in and be a part of it. All right. On my website. And it is $22 to be a part of this. $22.22 to be a part of this. Okay. And I have Afterpay on my website. So you could pay for this with $5.61. $5.61 payment. Okay. You click the link in my bio or in the description if you're on YouTube. It'll take you to it. Okay, so I want y'all to know that. So get over there and be a part of it. Okay. Here we go. Someone asked earlier, how can I get out of my comfort zone to become a spiritual advisor? Okay. Well, shadow work. Y'all see what I did there? Where is the uncomfortability coming from? What aspect of being a spiritual advisor makes you uncomfortable? I will guess that is trusting that you know what it is that you know and that you are actually called to do this particular thing. Okay. And that right there has to do with your own belief in yourself. And you must get down to the reason, why do you not think that you are actually supposed to be this important? Because that's a lot of y'all's problems, who are supposed to actually be on another level than you are, or rather operate in a different capacity than you are, because you can't believe that you are actually called. You can't believe that you are actually important. You can't believe that. It is difficult for you to accept the fact that you are not who your drug addicted parents told you are. It is difficult for you to accept that you are not who your abusers made you feel like you were. And how do you discover that? How do you get down to the bottom of that and undo that? That is what the shadow work is for. You just think, ooh, I'm scared. Ooh, I don't want all that. Da, 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 da. No, there's a deeper thing here that's in the shadow that needs to be brought up to the surface. It is a deeper thing in the shadows that must be brought up to the surface for you to examine. Does this have anything to do with me actually not being able to be a good spiritual advisor? Or am I still thinking with the thoughts implanted by my abusers? Oh. Oh. And so when you look at that part, wait a minute. So it's not that I am actually not gifted. It is not that I am not called, you know. It has nothing to do with that. In fact, I'm actually thinking that I'm a spiritual advisor, or that I should step into that, because I've already seen the evidence of my work. So it has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with the fact that I am believing the lies told to me by the people who harm me. Got it. Shadow work. So why do I hold the people who harm me? Why do I hold the abusers' viewpoints and opinions of me higher than my own? Now this is shadow work. Why do I hold the opinions of the people that did not show me true love above my own? What is this complex about? Why? Why am I still holding on to this? Is it because I believe that they are right? Oh, I believe that they're right. I believe that. The reason why I'm holding it above my own is because I actually believed it. I believe the things that they said about me. Oh my gosh. I believe it. Because some of us are still oppressed by people who are deceased. Do we understand that? Some of us are oppressed by people who are deceased. Are you really being oppressed by the deceased? Or are you, who is not deceased, oppressing yourself? It's you. I believe it. So now what I need to do, I need to change my belief here. How do I change my belief? I have to change the story. That's it. The story is no longer that they said these things to me because I was these things. The story is these were hurt, abused, and abandoned people who set forth to project these feelings onto me that they truly felt about themselves, in hopes that my misery would give them company because of their abandonment issues. That is a story retold. Now, y'all better like the live. Y'all better send some gifts because that's how you rewrite a story. That is how you rewrite a story. And YouTube, I do have super chats. So if y'all want to send 99 cents on super chat on YouTube, I'll appreciate you. That is how you do it. That is it. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all for the gifts. That. And then now, wait a minute. So it wasn't that there was anything ever wrong with me. It wasn't that there was anything ever wrong with me. It was simply the fact that these were hurt and abandoned people. So wait a minute, Spirit. You set me up to experience this with these people, to have firsthand experience of it, to later on be the proof of why I need to be a spiritual advisor to begin with. Dear God. Because I am the evidence that you could experience this and survive. So I can then take the experiences, the techniques, the tactics that I use and formulate a curriculum as to how to overcome these type of situations. That's shadow work. Next. Am I teaching today? I think I'm teaching today. Darlene asked, do you recommend therapy in conjunction with shadow work? Highly. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend therapy with shadow work. I highly recommend life coaches with shadow work. I recommend support teams. I recommend it all because the shadow work has to do with reframing the mind because we're changing belief. And if you are needing to reframe the mind, perhaps you should work with someone who is good at reframing the mind. So yes, I believe that completely. Okay, let me look here at the next one. So Trinkets asks, Darcell, hey, if you reverse a hex off of someone and the person who hexed them died, Should you feel like it's your fault? Wait a minute. The reason why I'm hollering is because this is why you should leave people alone. This is why you should leave people alone. You don't know who they got on their team. You don't know who they got on their team. Okay. I can see how you can feel bad and feel like, oh my gosh, did I just kill someone? Did I just unalive somebody? My question is this. If you stumbled across someone attacking someone physically who did not deserve it, and you so happen to be someone who carried, and you were to shoot this person who was attacking that person, trying to kill this person, would you be wrong? I don't think so. Because if you reversed it, you sent back what they were sending out. So that must mean that that's what they were sending out. And that's what I have to say about that. Jasmine, send me a super chat. This is my first super chat on YouTube. Jasmine. Thank you, Jasmine. I appreciate that. This is my first super chat. Hold up. I got to get the one that's a static. Come on, super. I can get the one that's more aesthetically pleasing. I am. I'm going to have to listen. After today's live, that's it. So someone asked me, how do they know if they are a spiritualist or not? So if you, there's a spiritualist, just like spirituality, just like when someone says I'm spiritual is a broad term. It could mean a lot of different things. Okay. People can say they're they're spiritual and they just meditate and do yoga. Some people say that they're spiritual and they're like conjuring up the dead girl. There's just so many different things. Typically, what is inferred from being someone who is a spiritualist or a spiritual practitioner is that you operate outside of a main religion. That's really what is inferred and implied. That you're like, I'm not really within a religion. I don't operate and practice what it is that I do underneath the helm of a religion. Because if you were in a religion, you would say that you were that. You'd be a this practitioner, or you are a devotee of this, or you are a Christian, or you are a Buddhist, or you are that, right? So that's really what is inferred. So if you practice spirituality outside of a major religion or a religion, and you have a more of a free form version of your connection with the divine, then there you go. What I mean when I say that is not only am I do I practice outside of the realm of a religion, but I teach all spectrums. Okay, I teach all different types of things. It's not just one specific vein in which I operate in, but everything I do, just like spirit is the root word of spiritualist, it all has to do with the spirit. Okay. Do you have any resources to be able to identify and name your spiritual gifts? Resources as far as books or something? Because there's so many. There are different. There's a lot of different books. I actually don't have a book in particular that talks about. You know, make me slide over to my Kindle. Hold on. Let me see. Give me a second on that. Let me answer this. How do I get comfortable with being in the spiritual realm when I'm connecting with the deceased? You address the fear, Deidre. You got to address the fear. What are you afraid of? Are you afraid? Do we still have some Christian ways of thinking running the show behind the scenes? You know, what is that? What is it that you are afraid of? When you address the fear, that's how you get more comfortable. Address and disable the fear. Disable the fear. One is we also have to understand too that it's not like the movies, y'all. The chances of you literally seeing a full figure of a person that has crossed over standing in the corner is like 0.0000000.1.5. So that's not really how the gifts operate and how they show up. It doesn't really show up like that. So I would say sit down with yourself and write out, what are your fears about this? Are they going to scare you? Is it going to be evil? You accidentally slip and fall into hell? Or is there going to be something that comes over that you don't want to, communicate with? And now you got a negative energy in your house. Is this something like that? Okay, well, then that is something actionable. If you are afraid that by connecting with people who have transitioned, that you're going to let over something that is negative or not right, or a spirit that should not be over here, then you address that with your protection work that you do before you do and tap in that way. So get down to what the fears are and see that the fears, there can be something done about it. Kia asks, how do we know we are doing the right spiritual work or what our spiritual gifts are? I think that there is a internal sense of knowing that comes in, when you do something, and it is, I can't really describe it. It's a feeling. It's a feeling of at last. It's a feeling of, it's a feeling of that, Um, and the other thing is too, that when it comes to your spiritual abilities, um, when it comes to your spiritual abilities, like, you may have several different experiences. Like if we talk about like the main ones that people know, which are the clairs, right? There are others outside of the clairs, but let's just talk about that, right? Clairvoyance, claircognizance, clairsentience, clairaudience, clair audience, clair did I say all of it? 4. There's another. There's a couple more clears, but let's say that. What is your spiritual experience? Are you picking up on energy because you see it? You can see it in your mind's eye. Are you picking up on energy because you hear the sound? Are you picking up energy because you can feel it? It's palpable to you. You know, how is it showing up for you? Kia, the real thing is trust. This is what this question is really about, Kia. It's really about trust. It's about trust. Do you trust that the spirit is leading you where you're supposed to be? Do you trust that your spirit team is who they are? Do you trust the things that they have said? Do you trust it? So for me, I feel they send messages through my dreams. Okay. And so have the messages come and been tried and true? Have the messages been true? Then you know you are a dreamer. Shout out to Martin Luther King on MLK Day. You are a dreamer. That's it. Mm-hmm. If they send you, I added bad messages. If they send you messages through your dreams, and you see that it comes into fruition, and you are a dreamer, that's it. Don't doubt your experience. Don't gaslight yourself. Golden Kisses asks, what would spirit suggest you do if you feel you were scammed by a spiritualist for a lot of money? Good God Almighty. Clairvoyance, thank you. Yeah, that was the one I was forgetting about. What would spirit suggest you do if you feel you were scammed by a spiritualist for a lot of money? Should you let it slide, expose it, or let their karma handle it? How much money was it? Hypothetically. How much money did they win? Golden Kisses, please help me now. How much money? But you said a lot, so it isn't like it's like upwards of hundreds. I would say this. Assess it, right? Are they out here scamming and tearing down people and doing all this stuff to people? And you know that people are actually being harmed by this person? I'm always an individual that says, see something, say something, but also protect your peace. So I would dispute the transaction. I would dispute the transaction. Dispute it. Dispute it. Dispute the transaction. Like, oh no, y'all got me twisted. Hopefully you didn't do it in cash. Okay, dispute the transaction if you can. But I think it is more important for you to not, they've already got you at a financial deficit. Let's not have them have you at an emotional, mental, and spiritual deficit, please. Mm-hmm. So let's not have them put you through that like that. I would say do what you can if you can do it and report them, financially for scamming. All right. But it just seems like a lot of energy to go forth, like making videos and being like, y'all don't trust this person. That's just a lot of heat. But also, that has been something that has helped a lot of people when folks have spoken out and said, this person has scammed me out of hundreds of dollars, out of thousands of dollars. Thousands of dollars. And they're actually out here trying to scam y'all. Please watch out for this person. That's also a thing. I'm just very particular about my interest. Like, ooh, but that's a lot of money. and the people need their coins. Someone said, hold on. It's a message. I've had those dreams as well, but they have answers. Yeah. I dream it. It happens word for word, bar for bar, wearing down to the shoes everybody wearing. See, pause and ponder. You're clear. What is it called when you put yourself in other shoes? Like when I was younger, I used to be depressed because I used to cry and feel bad because people was blind, and I imagine myself blind, and I just you probably then you say you start crying. That's um more empathic and clairvoyant. Darcell, how do you give offerings to your ancestors and Orisha that has your head? So the how you give offerings to your Orisha, that depends on what is stated within the Ifa or Lukumi or Palo or Santeria, however, it is stated within the religion or in the practice to do. So I don't want to give any off-brand instructions because each Orisha is about different things and requires different things for to honor that energy and connect with that energy. Ancestors, a great way to do that is with your ancestral altar. Pictures of the people that have transitioned, photos with just them in it. Please don't put the living people up there on the ancestor altar, please. We don't need your powerful prayers to fast forward them on to the next realm. Okay. Pictures, you have your nice cloth over it. Okay. I prefer white cloth over it. You want to have a candle there or a light of some sort there. You want to have a plant there representing life and growth energy. You want to have water there, a glass, a chalice, a cup, or whatever, where you pour water in it. Okay. You want to do that. And you work with what your spirit says. Some people visit their ancestor altar daily. Some people visit every other day, honey. Some people do it recklessly and they do it never. Okay. But it's a part of a daily spiritual practice, I would say. It's a daily thing. No, how often? Like, do you do it daily or weekly? With the I don't know. I don't know with the Orisha. I don't know because it's different as it pertains to everybody, and each and different Orishas and different practices. So it really just depends on the practice. Okay. Um, it depends on the practice, but as far as like, I'm not gonna speak on that because that is not my lane. But it just depends on the practice, honey. That's the thing. And you see, y'all, I am not above saying what is in my scope of practice and what is not. Some of these people want to be like, they know everything, do everything, and that's not me. If it's in my scope, I'm gonna speak on it. If it's outside of my scope, get somebody else to do it. It's been happening since I was a kid, like first grade. Back then, it was heavy because I didn't understand. Had to tell my mom because I remember feeling stuck. Got it. 3-ply mama says, I cut off a good 95% of my family. Not 95%. How do I connect with my ancestors when I do not align with them? Oof. So I'll have you know this. Do you not align with the ancestors, or did you not jive with their children? Because also, and the conversation about ancestors tend to be very limited to who it is that you know. When you have ancestors that are 10, 20, 30,000 years old. All right? Everybody in your ancestry is not a bad person. So what you do simply is you set up the same ancestor altar space, and instead of their pictures, honey, you could put a placard that says the ancestors. All right, you pour water, you do all of those things that you would do at an ancestor altar, and you say to the ancestors, known and unknown, that's working for my highest good. Boom. That immediately separates those that are you would jive with and that care about you and help you, and those that do not. Honey, get you a placard that says the ancestor. It don't have to be, they know who they know their name. Even if you don't know. You could get, hold up, let me see. I wish I had. Even if you got something like this. And you said, boom, this is what I'm going to have up there and I'm going to place up there to represent my ancestry and my roots. Boom. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And the ancestors are through you. Exactly. Pause and ponder. Ponder. Your ancestors are through you. Someone told me my mama or grand ancestors are not, or great grands. My ancestors or great grands are not considered ancestors yet. I'm not reading correctly. So someone told me my mama or aunt or grandparents are not considered ancestors. Is that true? Because I don't feel like that's correct. That is absolutely incorrect. The lie detector has determined that was a lie. If they are in the ancestral realm, they are ancestor. That is the one requirement. That's the first requirement. If you have crossed over into the next realm, you are in the ancestral realm. And if they're in your lineage, that is an ancestor. That is. Not the underground gang are all ancestors. Did they have to be called the underground gang? I don't know much about protection besides spiritual baths or white candles and prayer. Is there more I can do? I've seen TikTok saying if you hear your name, never answer. So I'm unsure. But it's not feel good in my home. And that's what I was getting ready to ask you. So you've been hearing someone or something call your name in your home, and you don't know who that is or what that is, and it is making you feel uncomfortable in your space. There's definitely a lot of different things you can do. You can make a quartz cleanse the space, but really cleanse it. And some y'all don't do right when y'all be trying to smudge. Okay, because y'all walk around with the smudge sticks. Y'all walk around with the smudge sticks like the Disney. Remember when Disney used to do, when the people hop up and do the Disney logo? Hi, my name is Kyla Pratt, and you're watching Disney. Hi, I'm Darcell, and you're watching Disney. Please. Not this. Not the abracadabra. Please. We can't be walking around with the Disney logo. Honey. Look at me now. You need to know how to, hold up. Get your pot or your cauldron or a pot, whatever. Get your charcoal like that. Take whatever you have to cleanse. Break that up. And create a smoke bowl. Break that up and create you a smoke bowl. Light that up and literally go through and smoke out your house. Some of y'all used to smoking out your houses because y'all smokes. You got to smoke the house out. Open the windows up. Take down the smoke detectors and smoke the house up. Also, I'm finna give you here. Pause upon it. Yes, you do have to cleanse before you do a road opener. You have to cleanse before you do any work. Now, hear me good, because I'm getting ready to give y'all what you want to use. Okay? Dragon blood, which is what I just had there, is excellent for purifying. So you want to take some of that. I can't believe, listen, y'all better be lucky that I'm giving y'all the recipes on here. You want to take some of that. You also want to take you some hawthorn. You want to take you some hawthorn. Hawthorn literally helps to repel and drive away ghosts. So any of y'all having spiritual issues and there's some spirits running around loose, take some hawthorn. Some of the dragon blood. You also want to take some osha root. Osha root does the same thing, protection against evil spirits. Okay? That, and also, if you can, some ragwort is good. Take that, go around, and let me explain something now. There is a difference, y'all, between, affirmations and just speaking like, hey, I think I'm safe. Hey, I want to be secure. Hey, I'm protected. I am wealthy. I am blessed. I am that. There's a difference between affirmations and casting something out. There is a difference. There's a difference in conviction. When you are sending something on and out its way, as opposed to, I'm protected. Nothing is going to harm me, period. There's a difference. When you are casting something out, your language is not cute. You might have some curse words up in there. In fact, I encourage it. You are not whispering. You are loud. You are making noise. You are clapping your hands. You are walking around, honey. You open up. You tell that thing to get the out of here. I ain't going to cuss too bad because what? I'm not going to lose my monetization. But you are walking around casting the stuff out, and it has to go. You're not talking as if the energy has a choice. You knocking the wall. Exactly. You beating on the walls. You stomping on the floor. You slanging the doors open, and you are declaring that the thing has to go. Okay? What y'all asking for the spelling? What did y'all need to spell? Hawthorne, Hawthorn. I also said ragwort, Ragwort. Ragwort. And Osha is Osha. Osha. Oh, this works for the living and the dead. Evil spirits. Bad energy. Be gone. Poof. So we are over with the Disney Channel smudging. Please. Did you say I was drawing goofy, Chris? Chris, I'm hollering. Hi, my name is so-and-so, and you're watching Disney Channel. Please. There's no power in that. No problem. Baby, look, did y'all see this video? Pause and Ponder said, you seen that video of the mother-in-law who couldn't even step on the porch after sis did her thing, fell right over? Yes, and I was hollering. And I laughed a lot. I was hollering. I laughed a lot. I laid down on the ground and turned over on my side screaming. Yes. You do that power, wonder working power in the herbs, in my hand. Well, this is power, wonder working power. That got me acting a mess. How do you dispose of spiritual work if you live in an apartment? It depends on what type of spiritual work it is. One, I want you to know that the spirit understands if you are in a living condition where you can't do all the things that you want to do. So I want to start off by saying that the spirit understands. The spirit gets it. And the spirit's not gonna be like, "Ooh, girl, you should have leveled up, girl. I can't help you." The spirit understands. Okay, so that being said, it depends on the type of spiritual work that you're doing. If it is work that is abundant and prosperous and health work and positive things, you can dispose of that on your property. No, you can't have this necklace. This is mine. No. And it's two-sided. Leo gang, Leo gang, Leo gang. Okay? So, if it is positive working, prosperity work, abundance work, you definitely can dispose of that on your property. All right, on your property. You know, whatever you do, however you get rid of it, drop it in nature, whatever. Well, if you have like your writings jars and stuff like that, you're not going to drop that off. But if you want to dispose of it on your property, it's perfectly fine. And so if the dispose has to be the trash, I would try to bury it if you can, honey, in some way. But if it has to be the trash, so be it. Again, your spirit team understands. Okay. They're not religion. Here go Jax. Oh, I'm gonna have to have it. Okay, everyone call the police on Jax. Stat. Call the police on Jack. So if y'all see me without this necklace, when I get back on this evening, Jack has robbed me. Jax has robbed me. Anyways, if it is work that is about, and you really shouldn't do this work, but if you did work where you was like, I'm doing this work because I want this person's whole life to fall apart. I hate you. You do not want to dispose of that on your property. You want to go somewhere else and drop it off. Go somewhere else and drop it off. Go somewhere else and drop it off. Another thing that you can do if you are wanting to, you have prosperity work and things like that, but you live in an apartment, you don't have a yard, is to get a plant. And go ahead and bury it in that plant. Yes, indeed. Get you a plant. Some type of soil. Get your hand on some type of dirt. Look at that. You get a bed of soil too. Yes, you can. So what if it is work for a client? Yeah, you want to dispose of that somewhere else. So you want to go out to a field or something like that and get rid of it in that way. Okay. Now I still got you drawing goofy on the screen. Listen, y'all, I have been on here effectively for an hour and 52 minutes, and I love you. I do. I love you a lot. Okay. However, I need to go recharge myself. And I have some things that I have to attend to, and I will be back on this evening for readings. Okay. I love each and every one of y'all. Y'all go and sign up. Hold up. Go and sign up for the candlelight ritual. Okay. Get over there. It's $22.22 for you to be a part of it with again, on my website, I have Afterpay, y'all. So if y'all are trying to get the self-love game together, you want to clear up the debris around that, work with the heart chakra, get this stuff cleared up. For cleansing, can I do it myself or see a Sangoma? You can do it yourself. But seeing someone who does it is also helpful too if you don't have confidence. But you can do it yourself. All right? I love y'all. Go forth and conquer. Return to yourself, to your community, and to the spirit of harvest. I love y'all. Peace, y'all. Peace, 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 peace.